So I just got some new books. They are from Cliff Stoll, Cuckoo's Egg, and High-Tech Heretic. This one was made in the late 1980s, and it's a story about how Cliff Stoll stopped a computer hacker in Germany working for the Russians on his Unix system. It's a really fun story. I've heard him do a lecture talking about it, and so I thought it'd be nice to read the book. And plus, Cliff Stoll is a really interesting person. He makes those videos on Numberphile about Klein bottles and all sorts of weird things like giant slide rule calculators and that single crank multiplication and division, a mechanical calculator, the millionaire machine, all sorts of cool things. You guys should go check that out if you don't know about him. He has a very interesting personality, and I've heard that his personality actually transfers over to this, so that's kind of cool. Something else besides just books or whatever, I have gotten to the point in learning Japanese, more like to the point in regaining what I knew, where I've realized that I actually found, like, I've hit a brick wall that at the time I didn't realize I hit a brick wall, and so I was just struggling for no reason without realizing it. I am a pretty slow person. Like, for instance, I'll play Legend of Zelda for like a week stuck in one dungeon, and it'll just be one stupid little puzzle that'll just keep me stuck for days because I'm just stuck in the same thought process that doesn't find the answer. It just finds all the other non-answers, non-solutions. And so, for some reason, it was, I didn't really fully notice or really understand how the Japanese language has counter words or counters. And so I've been reading about that a lot, and now things are making a lot more sense. But now I also have a bigger view of a big thing I have to figure out, so that'll be some learning. But I think because I noticed that I hit this brick wall, because before, like 5 years ago when I was first trying to learn Japanese, I remember this particular point where I was trying to learn these, where how you, like, regarding counting, and you have the different characters and whatever. I really need to practice my kanji. This is what I have so far. Forgive my bad handwriting, but basically each one of these comes after a number. So basically what this is each one of these, like one of these signifies a small object, one of these signifies, like, it can be used for like a vehicle or whatever, but there's still odd little rules for each one. And so basically what happens is you get, well basically, if we were to translate it to English, as far as I can understand, it's so that you can actually have the sentences kind of mixed around a little bit. So, like, you can actually say the sentences backwards or whatever in Japanese, and as long as you make it right, from my understanding, you can still understand it because there is like an error correction native to how you form that sentence. And so, like, as far as, if I'm understanding correctly, which I think I might finally, like, be grasping this, effectively what's happening is you're saying, like, oh, there are 3 cats, or cats are 3 animals, and that animal is that character. So, like, you could tell, like, that number is regarding the animal and not regarding some other thing, like the 3 cats in the 3 cars are 3 animals or something like that, as far as I can tell. Because then you could, because you have that bit of information stuck onto that, then you could flip it around, like, the 3 cars with 3 cats are 3 animals. And then it's like, well, it wouldn't make sense unless you had that little bit there. And then you realize, oh, so it's talking about the number of animals in the cars or around the cars or whatever. Is it? I still need to do a lot of work. Let me know if I'm kind of grasping it. Basically, I see it as another way to be more literal, I guess. And so it doesn't rely as much on the order of the words. There's a little bit more freedom because these characters introduce a somewhat complicated form of error correction to make sure that you understand what it's meaning, what it's talking to. Which makes sense. It's actually really nice. It's just a matter of getting that into your head. Because, like, I have a hard time with kanji. I read an article by someone. Let's see, it was on JapaneseRuleOf7.com. Why you must learn kanji. And basically it's a nice little article just talking about, fuck it, you're not going to have time to really do it afterwards, so just start learning the kanji while you're learning the language. And it's like, you know what? Fuck, that's a good point. I was wrong. Because I always thought, like, maybe I could try to learn the kanji later on, but I found that very difficult. But now that I'm learning the kanji, while I'm relearning the language, I'm finding that I can actually get more from already existing works of literature. Like I can read stuff in pictures and whatnot, or a couple of Japanese books I have. I can pick out a couple kanji that's like, oh hey, I think I know that one. Although unfortunately a lot of what I know is very contextual. Like, until I work on handwriting like I have with hiragana or whatever, I can't really visualize it in my head. And as soon as I write an entire page of one character, well then I can draw it in my head and I can remember what it looks like. I'm only like halfway through hiragana with that, and yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. I kept going over the same course on Rosetta Stone, trying to just get it in my head what all the different counters are. And not all of them, there's like a crap load of them. But at least like the 5 that they have you learn. So I'm thinking probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that 2 times over, just to make sure it's stuck in my head. And so the rest of that course from then on will be easier. And it'll be more of just adding to whatever I learn. I think that would be probably a good idea. But I don't want to do it too quickly, because then I'll get burnt out and get like I'm at my saturation point right now. If I do any more of trying to learn Japanese for tonight, I've already done it for like an hour and a half. And I just, there's diminishing returns. I don't feel like I can get the information in my head as efficiently as I could otherwise. But if I sleep on this and I come back to it tomorrow, I'll feel a lot better. Yeah. So given that I can't do this for more like an hour and a half a day, I still feel like doing stuff. And, you know, like, I feel like setting time aside for reading. And so I think I should start putting more time aside to reading books and whatnot. I have a big issue that whenever I want to read a book, I tend to just want to read it all in one sitting. And that's not very effective for reading big books, especially ones like this. Well, big compared to a single sitting. Although it's only like 300 and some pages. 325 pages. Oh yeah. So that's pretty much it. Hey, Clifford Stoll. Yep, that's him. Well, that's pretty much it. I believe this is one of like the first edition. I like the cover. The cover's pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.